Hello, welcome back guys on my channel. I hope that you guys are doing fine. So it has been a long time that I uploaded a ZZZ content on my channel. Well, there is a very big fair reason because ZZZ is trying to take a path of what Genshin has been doing since the launch of a Notland. Why am I saying this? Because when the Notland patch was released, Genshin introduced to us a certain mechanics where these certain mechanics can only be proc by the Notland characters, and other outside of a Notland characters, your other old character cannot even do this kind of things. For that reason, if you somehow trying to do a respective end games in that Notland patch, then you cannot even just do a jack shit of a damage towards your enemy because certain shields are totally covered by the enemy's ass, and if you cannot even break the shield, then the actual damage cannot be go through the enemy's body, and that shield can only be broken by the Notland's characters and also special mechanics. That kind of things is also been happening into the Zenless Zero just because of the characters are becoming much more powerful, and it is actually hard for them to make us engagement into the end game and also make us thrive to this game much more higher than ever. So that kind of things actually doing the Zenless Zero, and I really hate it, and for that reason I totally quit the Genshin Impact. Not actually fully quit, you can consider me also a tourist gamer who actually log in the Genshin Impact once or twice in a month and do some kind of like a story if I really like the story. That kind of things I have been doing in a Genshin Impact since the launch of a Notland, and also I'm also doing in a Zenless Zero at the same time. But HSR is a kind of a bit of a different because it is one of those games where you don't even have to do the chorus, the game will play by yourself, you don't even have to play this game. Anyway, yes, I am not a regular player in Zenless Zero, but I really keep track the new characters what is actually dropping into this game and see that if that character does hold any kind of candle and also have any kind of value, or you can say the universal types of things or not. Well, this version which is currently running is a version 2.7, and the phase 1 banner was a Nangyong and also Yadahari, and the banner is already done. We have a new phase 2 banner which is a Cissia and also coming along with the seed character, and this Cissia is also electric character. I already played her on the story in Zenless Zero. By her playstyle, I'm not even that of a fan of her. She's just like one of those like a Gunnar character. Well, Zenless Zero is also a Gunnar character as a whole types of things. They just totally make their player base as a Gunning types of things. Not actually Zenless Zero. Udaringas is also can be a good competitor of the game Zenless Zero. Now most of the people are going to be mad because I totally mentioned the Udaringas name and also compare it with the Zenless Zero. Anyway, in this video I'm going to talk about where the Cissia is placed into this current meta, or you can say the current tier list of the Pridon.gg. And before talking anything further, Pridon.gg is one of those like a top website to making this kind of tier list and also build of a showcase of a certain characters. Tier list, they are not even covering the tier list of a Zenless Zero, they also make tier list of a Udaringas and also other 13 popular games, so you can even check it out. Besides, don't even take their opinion as a seriously, take it as a grain of salt, or you can say a fun way. So without further ado, let's see what the Cissia, which is our new electric character, place into this meta. Is she is a good one or is she a dog shit? Let's see. So as you can see that there is some kind of like a criteria in here, or you can say the options in here, which is about a tier list criteria, roles and text and change log. I'm not going to touch any of this because if I just touch one of this, I will be get spoiled and the whole video fun will be lost at the same time. So let's move on to our tier 0, which is apex tier. Is she here? Actually she is not even here, and the other characters which are in the previous patches were also in the same position, but one character totally goes up from tier 0.5 to tier 0, which is the Arya. Well, after playing her on the story mode and also trial version, she does have a higher potentiality, and also if you just somehow use her with her best in slot teammate, which is a Nangyongyu and also Shuna, she is also going to dominate into the current top tier meta. If I just compare with the anomaly DPS with the Miyabi, she is even better than the Miyabi, but the Miyabi is a tier 0, is totally biased by the Pridon.gg's website holders. I'm not seeing that Miyabi is going to be very much of a good for this current meta. She's not even that of a good one. If you don't even have a signature weapon on her and also don't even have a recent stunt character, which is a Nangyongyu, I guess she is not even a tier 0 character. But the tier list meta of this maker of this site is totally a bias towards her. That's it. But if they just somehow make her tier 1, this tier list site is going to be crashed by the hardcore Miyabi fan of this Zenless Zero. I already know that how much of a crazy this kind of gacha games fans are. They are just a totally psychopath. Okay, let's move on to our tier 0.5 list. Yes, man, she is a tier 0.5 and she is also belong from the attack character. Was she a attack DPS or sub DPS? From her playstyle, she does not even role play as a attack character. She does play same role as a Yanagi, one of the best electro character or electric character, whatever you say, but she's just somehow dethroned by the other characters, and also the game's mechanics somehow does not even really favoring towards element. And other characters also remain to their original position as before their previous patches. I'm not seeing any kind of changes in here and there. Tier 1 characters also being tier 1, no changes also being seen here. The tier 2 characters also been into the same position. But one thing really break my mind is the Cissia. Man, when the Cissia was released, people consider her one of those like a future proof character because she can even do all types of things. Even people are consider her as a jack of all trade and master of all trade at the same time. Why am I saying this? Because she can give you 1000 attack just like the Bennett attack as well. She can play as a stun character, also a shield character, where it also helps to the DPS character who does really require a high amount of on-field time, and she can gives a higher amount of interruption resistance where the DPS character do the damage without any kind of stagnated by the enemy's attack. That's kind of thing she's totally provided in you here, but the meta is totally relevant to the certain types of elements and also certain types of mechanics, certain types of interaction. That's why I guess Cissia is not even hold any kind of candle to this current meta, or you can say the upcoming meta, unless they are just going to give us some kind of like a certain buff, just like what the Barley's get her. Just like as you can see that on her icon P6 is kind of like a extra buff that this game is providing to a certain character to viable into the recent meta, or you can say the upcoming meta, and have some kind of value. So other than that, as you can see that Sid is also coming along with her from the Cissia, and most of the people are considering these two characters best pair for each other. As you can see that the partner, they also consider partner as a seat for this character, both of these characters at the same time. So I guess these two characters are going to go higher up after so many testing. If the people see that these two character pair up are going to be very much of a high damage compared to these our two big juggernaut character, which is Yao Guang and also Yushuan, I guess these two characters are going to be level up from the tier 0.5 to tier 0. Let's see what kind of review they are providing to this Cissia into this tier list. Okay, for this tier list they are totally provided as a pros and cons. Pros is what is really have a good things on her, and also cons why you should not even pull for her. So first point is going to be the strong number given her limited field time and also being a sub DPS that can almost match the damage of a man carry. Oh man. So as a role of a sub DPS, she also can have a higher amount of damage, which can even just a rivalry between the main damage where she is going to belong in a team sets. That's actually very much of a good thing. If I just give you a close existence things which the ZZZ Zero can give you, which is the Yanagi. Yes, when it comes to Yanagi team, which is a premium team, consists of a Yanagi, Miyabi and also the Yuzuha. This team of a damage number is going to be very much of a higher if the Yanagi plays perfectly. If you have a good build in Yanagi and also good amount of investment on her, she is going to deal higher amount of damage compared to the Miyabi, which is the main carry is the Miyabi, not the Yanagi. Yanagi is a sub DPS who plays as a role of a generating of a point of our Miyabi, which is a frostbite, and Miyabi just proc her passive, which is the judgmental slash. That kind of things totally happen in between her. So but being a sub DPS and also being a generator for the Miyabi, she deals way too much high damage, and she does have so much nerf on her beta testing to make her balance between the Miyabi and also her. That's the main thing. But as when I just try to play her on the story mode, I don't even really like her playstyle, and I don't see she does going to add any kind of value, but she does added value to our Sid, who is our previous main carry of electro characters. Okay, for the second point, which is the very well-rounded characters able to deal damage, build decibels, and has days build that's competitive with many stunners. Okay, if you are one of those like a seed mate and really want to have a good stun characters, or you can say the jack of all trade characters, I guess she's very much of a going to be best one. Just like the Nangung Yu, who plays as a stun character, but she deals higher amount of damage. If you does have her signature weapon, she just totally skyrocketed, even doing higher amount of damage than the main DPS where she is totally going to give her buff to a certain characters. That's the main thing. Third point, which is the flexible build option in both the drive disk and also W engine, making her relatively inexpensive to work with. Well, that's actually another very much of a good pros, because in our previous character, which is a Nangung Yu, she does really require her signature weapon to work perfectly, and outside of her signature weapon, they are not even much of a very much of a good options where you can even use her with a full potential. That's why after this kind of like a luxury character, we have a F2P character who can even work with a first option without very much of a relying to her actual signature weapon. That's actually a good thing. But the fourth one I'm not going to mention because most of the time this side totally make a joke point onto the last point of every review. Okay, let's move on to our cons where you should not even have her. The first one which is going to be the sub DPS character who will perform worse in a main DPS position then alternates with the vertical investment. Okay, the first point is kind of a confusing to me. Are they trying to say that the being a high amount of damage than the main DPS carry on a team is a good thing or bad thing, or is she really required a vertical investment to do that? I totally cannot even understand their first one. If you really understand, please feel free to leave under the comment section. I will be checking that point. Okay, for the second point, which is going to be the very limited comp choice, being a best in slot pick for the seed alone and strictly limited for the electric attack teams. Well, we do have a weak electric teams such as the, what's her name again, NB0, Soldier 11, or sorry, 11 is another character, but Soldier NB0 is another like electro character who can consider as a very good character, but she does really require her signature weapon and also dedicated teammate, which also consists of a trigger, pulcra, and also Astra. If you don't even have those things, I guess NB0 does not hold any kind of candle. Just like that, she is also going to be very much of a best in slot for our Seed character. Seed is one of those characters who really much of a easy to play and who also have a value. People are not even pulling her just because she's not even of a void hunter. You already know that how much of a void hunter really plays an important role into this story lore and also in a gameplay, especially when they just totally came back. They are totally not even following the same rule of a normal basic character. They does have a special elements or special mechanics where a normal single 5-star character cannot even have. So just like that, when it comes to comparison of those void hunters, I guess that team is very much of a expensive to have, because if you have to have a high investment of a void character, void hunter characters, these teams or this character does not hold any kind of candles compared to these void hunters. Let's move on to our third point, which is going to be the difficult balance, energy regain, and also crit rate without a signature weapon, which can severely limit her personal damage. Well, as you can see that they already mentioned into the pros where she does not even really require her W engine, but in the third point she does really require her W engine to make her build very much smooth and also make her optimally playable to the any teams, or you can say not actually any teams, she only perform in a C teams. So I don't even get it why the Pride always do this kind of things when it comes to making a decision where they are trying to say it as a good things, but the good things are totally bad things in a cons part. I totally don't even get it what they are trying to say here. So our fourth point is also a joke point. That's it, nothing else here. So I guess that's all for this review part. Let's move on to the team synergies, which they already mentioned into their pros, is that she is going to be the very much of a best in slot for seed. As you can see that team 1 is also consist of a seed, team 2 also consists of a seed, team 3 also consists of a seed, but team 4 I guess it is not going to be very much of a good one, because if you don't even have a seed, that you have to use her as a main carry and also get a stand character and also get another support character. But basically if you don't even have a seed, and also you have to wait for our future character if any other character is really going to be very much a best in slot for the Cissia as well as or not. But right now seed is going to be the number 1 best in slot for her, and other than that you don't even have any other options, being just like any other Gunnar material for your account. Okay, so I guess that's all for these things. I don't think so any other character should need to be really much of a talk about, because most of the character already remain to their same position as before, so there is nothing to talk about it. Other than that, I guess if you really want to pull her right now, this is very much of a good options, but if you have already a high amount of good build, she is going to very much of a huge upgrade for your seed teams. Other than that, I don't think so she's going to be hold any kind of candle just like what the Yanagi was. I don't think so Yanagi does even here. Yes, she's not even that of a top tier, because the elements and also game does not even favoring on her. The game is always gave the two sides of this team a electric resistance, where Yanagi very much of a shiny if they just give us a electro weakness character, but the game developer really want to downvote her to make the other characters perform more. I guess I don't even have any other words to tell them, because they really does have a very much of a vote predatory system when it comes to their making a particular character sell their boost. I guess that's all for this video. If you like it, leave a like. If you're already pulling for her, best of luck to your pulls. And if you have any kind of comments regarding my opinion on her and also opinion on this tier list, please feel free to leave under the comment section, and see you on the next video. Peace.